About August 2023, question number 4B. We are dealing with CPA. Question. Good. So I believe you are able to access that paper. You've been able to access that paper. So the question reads, we are told here that Mars Bottlers Limited manufactures and sells 4 products. Details of the 4 products and relevant information are given below for the month of August 2023. So we have the products, that is AO1, BO2, CO3, TO4, and the total. Then we have machine hours per unit, we have production runs, requisition rates, orders executed, then cost per unit, we have direct material, we have direct labor, additional information. Currently, production overheads are absorbed based on the conventional machine hour basis, although management is proposing the adoption of activity-based costing technique. The production overheads for the period have been analyzed as follows, together with ABC cost drivers. So we have machine cost per center or machinery cost center, we have setup cost, stores receiving cost, inspection cost, and material handling cost. Now, once that is done, what do they want us to do? Compute the budgeted income or unit cost and total cost using conventional costing technique and also activity-based technique. So the only difference that you're going to deal with here is the treatment of overheads, the treatment of production overheads. In topic number 4, of course, we have some hint. So for us to be able to get the total cost, we need direct material. We need direct material. We need to add direct labor to this so that we get what we call prime cost, right? So to the prime cost, we need to add what we call production overheads. Production overheads, when added to this, will give us what we call total production costs. Now, for you to be able to arrive at the prime cost, there is no change. We are not going to interfere with the prime cost components. But now, once you have your prime cost, the manner in which you are going to distribute or apportion the production overheads will determine the total cost of each item. So, for example, this production overhead can be done by use of what we call traditional method or costing technique. And then we have what we call activity-based costing method or technique. Another name of traditional, we call it conventional. That's what they want you to do in Roman 1. Conventional costing technique. So under conventional costing technique, you only pick one of the suitable cost driver. You use one cost driver to distribute the total overheads. But activity-based costing, you are going to apply some concept of what we did in topic number 4, which is looking at the suitable cost driver. For example, if you want to distribute depreciation expense of machinery, then you'll be looking at the value of machinery. If you want to distribute rent and rates, you'll be looking at the area occupied, right? If you want to look at the heating and lighting expenses, you'll be looking at heating points, right? Heating points. Power consumption, if you want to distribute power consumption overheads or power expenses, you'll be telling us kilowatts that have been utilized under each item, right? So that's what you're going to do under activity-based costing. But under traditional or conventional costing method, you basically pick one of the cost drivers and use it to distribute the entire production overhead. So let's go to the question and see what is presented there. So are we together up to that point? 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 Do we all have the question with us now? Do we all have the question with us before I proceed? Do we all have the question? Do we all have the question? Confirm, confirm. If you don't have the question, please take a screenshot of the question we are handling here. Take a screenshot of the question we are handling. And of course, here is the question. Question number 4. Question number 4. Question number 4. Here is the question. Good. Take a screenshot within 2 minutes or 1. And then you confirm whether you've been able to take the screenshot of that question. Confirm, confirm, confirm. Have you managed to take a screenshot of the question? Have you managed to take a screenshot of the question? Confirm, please. Are we together? Are we together? Are we really together? Please confirm. Are we together? People are so silent. Are you getting anything? Are you getting anything? Are you getting anything? Great, so let's now proceed. I believe you now have the question with you. For those who have just joined, you now have the question with you. We are handling August 2023, question number 4. August 2023, question number 4. Good, so once that is done, after looking at that background, we can now go ahead and handle this particular question. So the first thing we need to do now, we need to list the items that we are having here. We have A1, we have B2, we have C3, we have D4. Good, so here we are required to get direct material. So we need to start direct material. Then direct labor. The two will give us what we call prime. The two will give us what we call prime cost. So direct material, that is cost per unit. Cost per unit, we have direct material, we have 3,300. So we have 3,300. We have 3,300, we have 4125, we have 2475, and then we have 4950. Direct labor, we have 2310, we have 1980, we have 1155. We have 18, So once these are added, we'll be able to arrive at what we call prime cost. We'll be able to arrive at what we call prime cost. So please, I want you to go ahead and post to me the total prime cost for each item. What is the prime cost for the first product here? What's our prime cost for the first product? Our prime cost for the first product. Our prime cost for the first product. What I get when you add this to this one here, what are you getting? What are you getting when you add prime cost to that? When you add direct material and direct labor. So can you give me the total for the first column? Total for the first column. Total for the first column. Somebody to add something there. Total, we have 5610. Then product number 2. Product number 2, what are we having there? Product number 2, 6105. 6105. 6105. 6105. How about the third product? How about the third product? Somebody else will be able to give us the answer. 6630. 6630. And the last one. Okay, I've just mentioned for us to be able to get total cost per unit. For us to be able to get total cost per unit, we need to take direct material. We have to direct labor for us to be able to get prime cost. What we are dealing with here is still cost per unit, which means once you're able to bring in the total, overheads, we can now get cost per unit or total cost per item, right? So of course we need to get the quantity for us to get the total or gross prime cost. Is that okay? Is that okay? Because if you look at the question, they want us to do the two. They want us to deal with the two. Number one, they want us to get cost or compute budgeted unit cost and total cost. Budgeted unit cost and total cost. So the first thing we are going to do is to get cost per unit. Of course, we can adjust this now that we be having the total units produced. So what do we have? The last one. The last one, somebody should be able to add for us. The last one. The last one. Remember, this question is from topic number 5. That is activity-based costing. Activity-based cost. So the last one, I'm told we have 67, 65, 67, 65. So are we together up to that point? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Good. Look at the overheads which we are supposed to bring in. Remember, you are supposed to bring in overheads, production overheads, right? We're supposed to bring in production overheads so that we get total production cost. But let's go to the question very well. And of course, Mercy, thank you for that question. Look at what we are given under additional information number 2. We have machinery cost, center, we have setup cost, we have store receiving cost, we have inspection cost, and the material handling costs. Now, my question is, if you look at the production overheads given there, is it production overhead per unit or production overhead for the total units that were produced? Let's identify that. Is it per unit of output or for all the units that were produced? additional information number 2. Is it for all units or just a unit of each item? Somebody to say something. What is given there is for all units. But now, if you look at our schedule here for the prime cost, we have prime cost per unit, right? We have prime cost per unit. So why can't we adjust this prime cost so that we get the total production cost, the total prime cost? So this prime cost per unit, right? Then we have units produced. Units produced here. For A1, we have 1200. B2, we have 1000. C3, we have 800. And of course, we have 1200 here. So let's go ahead and get the total prime cost. So total prime cost, you take 5610 by 1200. What are you getting? What are you getting? Total prime cost. 5610 by 1200. What are we getting? 5610 by 1200. 5610 by 1200. Somebody should help us there. Do the same to product. Okay, I'm told we have 6732. So we have 6732. Thank you. How about the second product? The second product, what are we getting? Second product. You check this by this one here, of course, I can give you the answer. The third one, 6630 by 800. 6630 by 800. What are we getting? What are we getting there? $66.30 by 800. 5304. And then the last one, the last product, that is D4. What do we have for D4? Should be 36. Oh, this one I'm told should be 3610, not 60. It should be 36. It should be 3610. It should be 3610, right? It should be 3610. So when you check 36, I mean 3630, 3630 by 800, what are you getting? 3630 by 800. Are we getting the same thing? Are we getting the same thing here? Are we getting the same thing? My good friends are not saying anything. 2904. So we should be having 2904. Then the last one I'm told is equal to 8118. Is that what we are getting? Are the figures correct? Are the figures correct? Are the figures correct? Somebody to confirm. Are the figures correct? Great. Now, once that is done, we need to bring in production overheads. The production overheads here are supposed to be distributed to the 4 products. So are we able to get the total production overhead? Yes. Additional information number 2, the second column is giving us total production overhead. Total production overhead is equal to 26 million, right? Then we need to distribute it based on a given method. That method is given in additional information number 1. Currently, production overheads are absorbed based on conventional machine hour basis. Conventional machine hour basis, which means we are going to use machine hour. So that machine hour becomes activity. That is the activity level. When I mention this, somebody is having some hint. Activity level here is machine hours, right? Is machine hours, and of course is equivalent to, so we need to get the total machine hours. Total machine hours here. Total machine hours here will be equivalent to, number 1, you can see for us to produce a unit of A1, we need 4 hours. The company has managed to produce 1,200, right? So it means for us to get total machine hours, we require 1,200 units times 4 hours per unit of A1. Then we add to 1,000 units times 3 hours per unit of B, plus 800 units times 4 hours times 2 hours times 2 hours. And we also add the last one. We have 1,200 units times 3 hours. So if that is done, what is your total machine hours? What is your total machine hours? Total machine hours. Of course, the next thing. So we have A, we have B2, we have C3, and of course we have D4. If I decide to break it further, so this one will give me 4,800, right? Plus 3,000 plus 1,600 plus 36 plus 3,600 plus 36 plus 3,600. So what are you getting? What is your total machine hours? What is your total machine hours? Total machine hours. What are we getting? What are we getting? Total machine hours. Total machine hours. 13,000, right? So I'm told when you add everything here, you're getting 13,000 hours. Distribution for each product, that is A1, B2, C3, D4, right? So here we have 13,000 machine hours. Now, once that is done, we need to get the absorption rate, because the overhead absorption rate will enable us to get what of the 4 products will be absorbing into the production process. So what are we going to do? Let's go ahead and get overhead absorption rate, which is equal to budgeted overhead divided by budgeted activity level. Our budgeted overhead is 26 million divided by budgeted activity level, which is 13,000 machine hours. So what is our overhead absorption rate? What is our overhead absorption rate? What is our overhead absorption rate? When you divide the two, what are you getting? Where do we get the multiplication figure of 4, 3, etc.? Oh, how do we get the multiplication figure 4, 3, 2? Now, if you look at the first table, we are told that the output in units is 1,200 for A1. And we are told very well that this production overhead will be distributed based on total machine hours. Now, my good friend here, Churchill, are you able to identify to us the total machine hours required to produce a unit of A1? From the same table, immediately you are done with the output in units. We have machine hours per unit. Are you able to see the number below 1200? Yes, so that's what we have here. Now that our activity level is machine hours. Good. So let's go ahead and get the overhead absorption rate. Overhead absorption rate. Overhead absorption rate. Overhead absorption rate. Take 26 million divided by 13,000. So you are getting, what are we getting? What are we getting? Somebody. We are getting 2,000. So you're going to have shillings 2,000 per machine hour. 2,000 per machine hour. Good. So once that is done, why can't you come and distribute this 26 million to the production system? So we are told product A1 utilized a total of 4,800 machine hours. If 1 hour is 2,000, 4,800 hours will be equivalent to how much? 4,800 times 2,000 will be equivalent to how much? 4,800 by 2,000. Now that we have overhead absorption rate, we now get to that formula, which was saying that overheads, we are looking at overheads absorbed is equal to overhead absorption rate times activity level. So we already have the activity level here, which is 4,800. Overhead absorption rate is this figure here. So what are we getting? So 9,600 for the first one. How about the second one? We now need 3,000 times 2,000. 3,000 by 2,000. What are we getting? 3,000 by 2,000. What are we getting? 3,000 by 2,000. What are we getting there? Overheads absorbed for B2. We'll be having 6 million, right? So we have here. We have 6 million. The third one, we are having 1,600 by 2,000. 1,600 by 2,000. What are we getting? 1,600 by 2,000. What are we getting there? Yes, somebody? Somebody to confirm. 3,200,000, right? So we have 3 million. $3,200,000. And the last one, we have 3,600 hours. We multiplied by the overhead absorption rate. So 3,600 by 2,000. What are we getting? We are getting 7 million. If you try to add the total overheads in this particular row, should be able to get what? Be able to get 26,000. Be able to get 26 million, because this is what we are distributing to the individual product. So let's go ahead and get the total production cost. Let's go ahead and get the total production cost. Total production cost per item. You take prime cost, we add to the overheads. So what is our total production cost? Total production cost. So you take prime cost, you add to the production cost. So what are you getting? To the overheads. Prime cost plus overhead. So what are you getting? What are you getting for product one? What are you getting for product one? What are you getting for product one? For product one, what are you getting? You just need to add the two difference here. Just add this and this. 16,332. Product 2. The second product. Someone else to give us the answer. The second product. Oh, D4. Thank you. We have 1531. 1531. 8,000. Good. Another person, maybe C3 ama B2. Another person who has been able to calculate one of these two. What are we getting? What are we getting there? Somebody. So B2 we have 12,105. About C3, 6104. So that is the total production cost. Look at Roman 1 of the question. Look at Roman 1 of the question. What do they want us to do? They want us to do what? Required. Compute a budgeted unit cost and total cost using conventional technique. So what we have done here is total cost using conventional method. Are we able to get unit cost for cost per unit? Cost per unit, are you able to get cost per unit now? Remember, the actual units that were produced is 1,200, and we will incur a total of 16,332,000. So it means for us to get cost per unit or unit cost, we take this figure, divide by 1,200, and of course we can give it to 4 or 2 decimal places for the case of this one here. So when you take 16,332 divided by 1,200, what are you getting? When you take this one here, divide by 1,000, what are we getting? So we will be having 12,105 for this one here. Do the same to this other one. 6104 divided by 800. 15,318 divided by 1,200. To 2 decimal places. What are we getting here? What are we getting for product A1? 13,610. Product C3. Product C3. Product C3. What are we getting? Product C3. What are we getting for product C3? For product C3. Somebody to tell us something. 7630. And the last one, product D4. Product D4, what are we getting? Product D4, what are we getting? 12,765. 12,7. Oh, 12,13. Which one? 12. Okay, 12. I can see majority are telling me it is 12. So they wanted you to give us production cost total for each item and of course cost per unit. So by doing this, you have the 6 marks that were allocated to this particular question. That's where you're supposed to arrive at. That's how you are required to arrive at the answer to that particular question. So are we together up to that point? Are we together up to that point? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together up to that point? Are we together up to that point? Great. So those who are joining this particular session, or this free session for the first time, just know this is brought to you by RCM Online College. For you to be able to proceed and get access to everything for this particular unit, RCM requires you pay a maximum of 4,800, a maximum of 4,800. Account, we are talking about management accounting. So if you are doing it for the first time, first attempt, I'll say we charge you 4,800. If it is retake, and you are doing it for the first time at RCM, they are going to charge you 4,000. If it is retake, and of course you are here last semester at RCM, so this for an RCM student who are doing it for the first time, then retake for RCM students, we are going to charge you, and we are going to give you another discount to make it 3,800. To make it 3,800, you are allowed to pay at least half to join the class and clear the balance within 30 days, right? Now, look at what your 4,800, your 4,000 or 3,800 will give you. Number one, be able to access live Zoom classes until you get to your exams. Be able to access free notes within LMS, right? Live classes, so free notes. You'll be able to access videos of past classes. You'll be able to access solution to theory questions. So theory questions and solutions to those theory questions. All these three will be accessed from LMS up to the last time you're going to sit for your exam. So look at the value that your 4,800, the value that your 4,000 and the value that your 3,000 will 3,800 will bring to you. So please make up your mind and build the classes as early as today. We've not covered a lot of things, but of course everything will be accessed under this category of videos of past classes. All these are accessed from LMS at your free time. They are not limited. The only thing that is limited, which will be done as per the timetable, is the live Zoom classes, which of course is there on Tuesday and Friday, 6 to 8. The remaining items, you can access them at any given time of the day or even night. It's upon you to plan yourself and do the studies the way you want. So that's what we have as a package for you when you make up your mind to join management accounting classes or join our fundamentals of management accounting class. This option here is also available for other CPA units. All the CPA units be able to access what I've been posting. You'll be able to access all these items. So are we together up to that point before we proceed to the next part? Are we together? Are we together up to that point? Are we together up to that point? Are we together? Confirm, confirm, confirm. Are we together up to that point? Yes, are we together? Before we move to part 2 of the question. Good, so part 2, they now want you to use what we call activity-based costing technique. Activity-based costing technique will only bring a slight difference. Activity-based costing technique will bring a very simple change. So what we need to do, you need to have a new table and retain everything up to this particular point. And retain everything up to that particular section. Retain everything up to this particular point. Now, under overheads, in this method called activity-based costing, that is now our name of the question, you are required to look at the suitable cost driver. We cannot say we want to distribute, we want to compare goats and cows, we want to group them together. No, we have to separate cows and we have to separate goats and cows. So for example, our first overhead there is called machinery cost center, right? So we're talking about machinery overheads. You need to bring overheads here. So this overhead, number one, we have machinery cost center. This machinery cost center, as you can see, will be suitably distributed based on total machine hours. We cannot distribute machinery cost center expenses using the orders executed. That will not be a viable option, right? So that's why we are looking at the suitable cost driver. So the machinery cost center has got total overheads of how much? We have 10,430. That's what we have. So this will be distributed based on machine hours. So this is the budgeted overhead. So we get to the concept of overhead absorption rate. So overhead absorption rate is equal to budgeted overheads divided by budgeted activity level. So budgeted overheads, we start with the first one here. We have 10,430. Budgeted machine hours, we just use it the other time. We had a total of 13,000, right? And how are we getting this 13,000? It was 1,200 by 4 plus 1,000 by 3 plus 800 by 2 plus 1,200 by 3, which was giving us 4,800, was giving us 3,000, was giving us 1,600, was giving us 3,600, right? So these are the items that are giving us a total of 13,000. Now, what is our overhead absorption rate for machinery cost center? Overhead absorption rate for machinery cost center. Somebody? Machinery absorption rate for, overhead absorption rate for machinery cost center. When you take 10,430 divided by 13,000, what are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting? Yes, what are you getting? Okay, my goodness, they are so quiet. 802.377. So we have 802. 802.377. So this is what we are going to use as the overhead absorption rate, be able to get the overheads distributed. So this is what we have per machine hour, right? Per machine hour. If you look at it very well, A1 have a total of 4,800 machine hours. 4,800. So when you take 4,800 by 802.377, what are you getting? When you take whatever has been posted there, then you multiply by 4,800. What are you getting? So that we can put it here. What are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting down there? Everyone is quiet. Everyone is quiet. Everyone is quiet. What are we getting? So what one will answer? Okay, let's take 802.3077 multiplied by 4,800. Please give me this to the nearest whole number. Somebody to give me that to the nearest whole number. 38,1077. Seven. Eight. 3,851,077. 3,851. Good. How about B2? We take the overhead absorption rate, that is 802.3077 multiplied by total machine hours for B2, we have 3,000. So when you multiply these ones here, what are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting there? 2 million for 6. 2 million for 6, 923. Okay, so we'll be able to complete this part. We'll be able to complete this part during our normal class time. So please, if you've not joined these classes, purpose to join, because we have a class tomorrow at 6 p.m. We have a class tomorrow at 6 p.m. The charges I've just mentioned, 4,800 first attempt, 4,000 rated for non-RCM, but we studied RCM for the first time in the post at 800. For any inquiry, please reach out to 0719 525 1000 or 0793 555 000. These two people will be able to assist you access this particular class. The payment details, that is 62 42 839. Account number, management accounting. So please, that is what's the head for our today's class, and I believe you've been able to learn something. So confirm, are you better than the way you joined the session? Are you better than the way you joined this particular session? Have you added some value? Good. So if that is the case, I would like us to stop at this particular point. Thanks for your time. Have a blessed evening, and let's meet tomorrow.